Welcome, everybody, to the F4 Hunger Awareness Show.
It's my goal to feed 1 billion people before I die.
We want to bring awareness around the issue of hunger and food insecurity.
7 to 8 million people served so far. With the sole goal of eradicating world hunger by connecting sources of food to recipients in need. Fiorenza's Food for Friends.
Derek Fiorenza here on the F4 Hunger Awareness Show. Excited to bring you another episode with our good friends over at Chartwell Law. This is part of the Chartwell Cares series that we're doing for their holiday food drive. And I have one of the attorneys from Chartwell Law in the New York area on our show today. Her name is Isis Davidson. Isis, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you, Derek. It's nice to be here.
It is. And I know we worked through a technical difficulty, and now we can have some fun. Tell us a little bit about what drew you into law and why you decided to become an attorney.
Well, as we were discussing before our technical difficulties, my very first job was working for a lawyer who my aunt was good friends with, and he was also her personal attorney. He eventually became a civil court judge, the Honorable Albert J. Grant. I worked for him when I was about 14 years old. It was my very first job. I used to type all his correspondence and all his legal writings on a real typewriter, which is you can probably not even find one very easily anymore. And after I had gone to college and I had several different jobs in the music industry and architecture, I eventually found my way back to the law as I was a single mom and I had a little boy who needed a mother with a stable job. It was also one of the things I had originally wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be a lawyer when I was 14, then I wanted to be a doctor, and then I wanted to be famous. So I found my way back to the law because of my son. I wanted him to be proud of me. I ended up at Maurice Dean School of Law, which was then Hofstra University School of Law. I had an incredible experience there. Faculty is very invested in the students and our success. I can't speak more highly of Hofstra University, and I have never regretted my choice to come back to the law. I'm having the most incredible career experience of my life at Chartwell. So that is my story of how I got to the law.
Well, we'll get into that. It sounds like your passion for taking care of your son and showing your son a great example was a key catalyst.
Absolutely. Well, he's an adult now, but he was everything to me. I wanted him to see that his mom, wanted more for him,
Mhm.
wanted more for herself than just a job. I wanted a career, and I wanted to be able, even through my job, to be of value to my community. So that is how I ended up here.
Isis, your story is inspiring. You're a strong person.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I also looked on your LinkedIn and I noticed that you have your MBA also.
I do. I went to Fordham University for my MBA in between
Okay.
all of that. Also had a great experience there. Did very well scholastically there, and I I use it sometimes. I've my MBA is in marketing and communications media management, so sometimes I use that.
And I'm sharing your LinkedIn in case any of our listeners want to connect, looking for an attorney in the New York area. I believe Hofstra is Long Island. Is that correct? Long Island
Yeah,
area?
yes, Uniondale, Hempstead area, Long Island.
So yeah, that's great. Great background. I had played football at Villanova, and when I was playing football at the time, we actually played Hofstra.
Okay.
This is going back to '06, '07. They got rid of the program. And there was a wide receiver that played in the NFL, Marquise Colston. I don't know if you remember the name. He played for the Saints. Very good, Pro Bowl wide receiver. But we
Okay.
played against Hofstra, and they had a really hard AstroTurf. So back in the day, this is an interesting story. It was I guess just more affordable or whatnot, but all the big teams used this really hard AstroTurf. Unlike today, it feels much better. It's much more like grass. It's better on your knees.
Mhm.
but when you would hit the ground, it's literally a thin layer from the concrete. So I remember that stadium. I was a kicker, and I was trying to kick off it.
That had to hurt.
I remember
Mhm.
that experience just in pregame.
Mhm.
It was windy, and the turf was. It was unlike any turf I'd kicked on. We were like, "Are we using cleats? Are we using regular shoes?" So
Well,
that's my experience with Hofstra.
and when was it cold when you played here? Because
It was windy. It wasn't too
yeah,
cold. It would have been in the fall. It wasn't like
okay.
freezing. Does it
Because
get really cold there?
yeah, December, January,
Yeah, we were hitting
maybe
it that time.
January in hot like at Hofstra is miserable. Like, mm-mm.
Well, that's so cool. So my question I always ask attorneys because I find it very fascinating. I love law shows. You know, Suits was one of my favorite shows ever. And there's that show that is more recent called The Lincoln Lawyer. I don't know if you've seen it, but you know, there's all these Law and Order. It's so interesting how many different areas of law there is. How do you decide after you got out of law school what area of law you wanted to practice?
Well, first of all, I want to address Suits because Pearson is my idol.
She's awesome, isn't she?
Yeah, Gina Torres is 6 feet tall. I'm not quite 6 feet tall, but I'm close. So, oh, that was one of my formative shows in law school. I was like, I want to be just like Jessica Pierce. So, but as far as deciding what I wanted to do, I've literally done everything. Like nobody believes me. Immigration, criminal. I did night arraignments in Queens criminal court. I have done surrogates. I have done family court, divorce, literally every single area of law. I started out at a very small firm, like with a sole practitioner who had like a couple of lawyers coming in and out of there every day, but it's how I learned the law. I started in general liability on the plaintiff side. And one day, a friend of mine who worked at another firm was like, you know, you're all over the place. She's like, do you want to just come over and do workers' comp with me? And I was like, absolutely, because I'm so tired of visiting every court in New York. Like I
Yes,
just
please.
I wanted to settle down, so I practice in workers' compensation and I kind of backed up into it, but I fell in love with it because it is so quick. In general liability, you can wait months, years to get to court. I am in court every single day. I'm arguing about something, not in a friendly way, in a
Yeah,
collegial way, every single day. I get to, I get to flex my brain muscles all the time. So I love what I do. It's fantastic. I wouldn't trade it. I'm a comp girl for life.
that's amazing. So workers' comp specifically working with the insurance companies, right?
Correct.
And that is certainly a niche. We think about like the different niches of law. Are most of your cases, are they settled or do you actually go to trial?
Uh, a lot of them we go to trial.
Okay.
Comp is heavily weighted against the insurance carrier, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But it's set up for the good of the worker in New York State, of course. So we also litigate smaller issues like treatment, whether surgery is necessary or
got it.
not. We litigate permanency, whether you are at the end of your cycle of treatment or not, and we litigate awards, how disabled you might be. So it is a very niche area because we get to argue smaller issues that a lot of other people don't ever see.
And Isis, what's the that term that when you're speaking in front of a judge, there's no jury and the judge decides versus having a jury? What's the difference?
We don't have a jury, as you know, of course. So this is administrative law. The judge is the arbiter in our courtrooms. We can appeal decisions and it can go up to the third department. Um, Appeals court, but usually they don't get that far.
Got it.
That is those are for very, very specific kinds of cases and issues. Um, but I mean, it's a courtroom just like anywhere else. We make an argument just like anyone else.
How much prep goes into your cases? How many hours you have to spend?
Uh, It depends on the issues.
Yeah.
There are time allotments in our courts. They could 10 minutes to 3 hours
Wow.
sometimes. So It depends on what the issue is. If it's an ANCR trial, probably that takes way longer, maybe a day or two, as opposed to whether or not you should get an injection, which may take me an hour.
What makes Chartwell a little bit different than other maybe firms or organizations?
Um, to me, though we've gotten very large lately, the firm has become very successful. Chartwell is, I feel more of a personal connection. I know a lot of my superiors personally by first name. I can talk to them at any time as long as I carve out, time on their Outlook. Um, we we like each other. We hug when we see each other. We miss each other. We have a very personal connection here, and it is what makes it different to me than any place else I've been.
And I'm going to pull up for those that are watching us on YouTube the locations. So I know that you, as you were mentioning, your footprint's pretty large. You have most of the country covered.
Yes, we're
So
very proud of that.
yeah. So what's it like to be part of a firm that really prioritizes personal relationships, but yet has the scope and breadth to be able to serve across the country?
Um, for me, it makes me feel like I'm at home. It makes me feel like I'm part of a family. Um, I get asked my opinion a lot, and I'm always surprised. As we discussed it a little bit earlier. I was like, they recommended me? That's amazing. But it's nice that people in higher positions like our C-suite and our administrative committee will reach out because they recognize that you have a different perspective than they might have, and they look to you for an opinion before they make a huge decision. Like this is incredibly important, and I'm so honored that I was chosen to be a part of it. Um, that's why I was like, I want to get it all right. So what are we doing? um, it we are like this huge family, and I love that because who would have thought? When you're an associate, you never think that anybody notices you or anybody cares about what you think, and Chartwell is the exact opposite of that.
I love that message that they really do care. And it's a great segue. We couldn't have planned it any better. Here's your profile in case anyone, any company is looking to get in touch with an attorney in New York, they can contact you. Chartwell Cares. Let's talk a little bit about Chartwell Cares. And right now we're in this initiative with the holiday season. We're working together with our charity F4 to conduct a nationwide food drive, working with local food banks around the country, partnering them with the Chartwell offices. What does the Chartwell Cares initiative mean to you?
Chartwell Cares is us, it's an extension of us. The way we care about each other, we care about other people. Giving back to the community means that we are going to build a connection with this community that we work in, that we live in. Um, we are making somebody's day that is difficult a little bit easier by performing these community services. We are learning new skills. Not all of us have ever even been involved in any community service. So this is something that we can introduce to people who in Chartwell who haven't yet had that experience. Um, it helps build perspective. It's very easy to forget when you are an attorney and you are what everyone sees as successful, how hard someone else's life can be. And maybe if we at Chartwell do this, other firms and other companies will follow suit. So it helps create a ripple effect, I hope.
So perfectly said. And I'm just sharing a couple of the values that Chartwell espouses from their website. But I think let's hit on that point. The opportunity to hopefully inspire change in a positive way. I always use the word effectuate. We want to have an impact. You know, the purpose of life, why we're here, is to serve, to share love and kindness. And, hopefully the efforts that we're making, whether it be professionally or philanthropically or helping somebody else's life be a little easier, making that burden a little less. So whether it's a canned good item like we're doing right now or volunteering year round helping to sort food or to procure food, or maybe you're working with your local Boys and Girls Club, whatever it is you're doing, you're investing yourself back in the community you work, which is the theme, Isis. This theme is so you mentioned it, And I can tell you now, after interviewing several of the attorneys and seeing it firsthand, that theme connects, it's your connective tissue. It's connecting the entire organization to support the communities where you practice. I think it's just amazing.
Yes. And we get to model the type of world that we'd like to see. Be the change you want to see in the world, like as everyone says. So if we show fairness and caring and compassion to other people, we improve our community. So
I love it. And I'm really glad you took a few minutes to chat with me. Um, my last two questions I'm going to leave you with. Number one, let's say there's an aspiring individual, they're graduating college and they're thinking about law school. What would you tell them? What advice would you give them to encourage them if they are maybe on the fence about it? What would you share?
I would share that law school isn't only about the practice of law. We get caught up in these TV shows where we are like, well, all it is me arguing in front of a judge, but it's so much more than that to me. It's about being a role model. It's about stick-to-itiveness.
Mhm.
I kind of went away from that and I ended up back where I should have always been. So for me, if you think that this is a place that you should have always been, never give up on that. Be be absolutely, I can't even think of what is the word. I'm losing words in my old age. But
Like invested, engaged, committed?
be committed.
There you go.
Be more committed to yourself. Choose yourself. If
Mm.
this is the thing that you always wanted to do, nothing should stop you. You you can do this. There's no barrier. The only barrier is you. You can take an LSAT, you can pass the bar, you can achieve this. If I can do this with a small child in tow, there's nobody that cannot do this. And I really believe that. I think everyone has something to offer. I believe there are so many areas of the law that you could be a part of. You don't even have to be a part of the law with a law school education. You can be a politician. You can work for the city. You can work for the state. There's so many other avenues that law can be a part of and help you with. Law has taught me how to, even though I'm often painfully shy, has taught me how to speak in front of a larger audience. Law has offered me a ton of friendships that I would have never had were it not for law school, were it not for the firms where I worked. It has been a boon to my life. I can't think of anything greater that I could have done.
That's so powerful. And I'm sure, we just touched the surface today. I'm sure there's a lot more there. How you persevered through raising son and working and getting your degree and then now working at a prestigious firm like Chartwell, like that journey. I'm sure it's something that someone would listen to and feel very inspired by.
When I write my book, I hope you buy it.
All right, there you go. Will you sign it? I need
Absolutely.
the signature. Last question. This is important, okay? What do you want your legacy to be? When you're done practicing law and you have a chance to reflect, get your flowers, so to speak, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want to be known for?
I wanted to be known for pulling pulling people up as I climb. I want to be known for helping somebody achieve a goal that they never thought they could achieve, getting them to a promotion they never thought they could get. I I want to be known for making even my superiors' lives easier and better. I want to be known for helping to improve any environment that I'm a part of.
Beautiful. That's awesome. Well, this has been a privilege. I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. I know we're right before Thanksgiving here. Um, if you're listening on YouTube, Spotify, please subscribe to the F4 Hunger Awareness Show. This has been a great conversation we've had today with Isis Davidson of Chartwell Law. She's out of the New York office, and this is part of our ongoing Chartwell Cares series, our continued series of education. And our goal, as always, is to inspire others to take action in the fight against hunger and food insecurity. So, Isis, thank you for your time and being with us.
Thank you so much for dealing with me and all my issues today. I am technically unsavvy, and I appreciate your patience today. And it was wonderful meeting you. You've been so kind.
Well, thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Have a fantastic holiday.
Take care.
Bye bye.